Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm in the midst of cooking, doing gravy. Got the gravy going. Oof. Let me just show you what that is. Let me bring you over here. Okay, this is delicious. This is my mother-in-law's recipe. And it's very easy, except right here, you see the little green things. I did have some parsley left over, the fresh parsley, so I just threw in a few snippets of that. What it consists of is the can of gravy, which is Rao's. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you what the can of gravy looks like. Let me put this cover back on. Just give it a light stir. I'm going to show you. I should have had it out. But of course I wasn't prepared, as usual. Okay. This is the can of gravy. It is called Rao's. We have a famous restaurant that is up on around near Pleasant Avenue. I want to say 115th Street, 116th Street here in Manhattan, New York. And this is the homemade, these are whole tomatoes, okay? These are Italian peeled tomatoes. The company is Rao's. And this is the picture of the restaurant. This is the actual restaurant. It's a very famous restaurant. A lot of famous people. Frank Sinatra used to frequent that place. If you hear that in the background, that's my coffee maker. I have coffee going with some cinnamon in it. This one for the holidays. And, my mother-in-law started buying these again. Oh, well, actually, she started buying these. She started buying these when she couldn't get her other regular peeled tomatoes. These are whole peeled tomatoes, and it says here a tomato puree and with basil leaf. Now, sometimes they add the basil leaf in. It's a big green leaf. Sometimes they don't. A lot of cans now that I've been getting, like the past 4 cans, I have not had the basil leaf. Just saying. Please add the basil leaf in every can, Rao's. But it is really a great, well, they call it sauce. It's a great sauce. It's a gravy. For the Italians, you know it's a gravy. And what it is that I use a contraption, such as right now it's a little wet, so it's a tomato strainer. And what you do is you open the can, you pour the can into the tomato strainer. You keep this over a bowl. In this case, I go right from here to the pot. It goes right into the pot. And I secure it onto the pot. You pour the tomatoes in. Then what you do, what she taught me how to take a knife, sometimes to break the tomatoes, because they really are whole tomatoes. And you break the tomatoes with a knife. And what you do is you grind them. And you grind them. The gravy comes through here, it liquefies and goes right into the pot, and that's how it becomes the consistency of gravy. This is what the inside looks like. It has a blade, and you just turn it. It's got a bunch of holes. You can get this on Amazon. I believe she got this replacement on Amazon, but she had her original one for years. Sometimes this part under here that is a nub, it actually unscrews. It sometimes needs a replace, because you can't, what it is that my father-in-law usually takes a screwdriver and tightens it, but it's pretty tight now on its own. And it's a nub. And you just, you go over it and you just strain it. And this is what I do at like 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning on a Monday morning. And that's what I do. And that's how it becomes the gravy that you see. Now, the ingredients that I use, or that the ingredients my mother-in-law always used, was garlic, salt, pepper, onions. I chop up some onions. I slice up the onions, and sugar. Now, the sugar, what the sugar does is she always, she told me, she says it would have such a bitter taste. And she made me taste it before she put the sugar in. I said, oh, she says, yeah. She says, this is why you put the sugar in. The sugar will then take up the bitterness of the gravy. She said the bitterness will go away. And sure enough, as you're cooking it, it does go away. So that's really all that I do. Just before, just while I strain, I usually have my garlic I have whole cloves of garlic. I just take the skin, the wrapper off, and you could cut them if you want. I leave them whole. She used to leave them whole because they used to sometimes liquefy in the gravy, and they open and they spread out that way, and it's really good. Not too much ingredients for it. Pretty easy. I'm sure you can add in your own ingredients if you like basil. Maybe you could put in a basil leaf. Like I says, the basil leaf was supposed to be in here. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I guess from the factory on how it packs, maybe it misses a can, but it really is a good gravy. These usually sell for about $3 to $4.95 in my supermarket. They used to be in Manhattan. They used to be $2.99 a can. We used to buy maybe 4 and 5 cans at a time. But what my husband had suggested to my mother-in-law, his mom, was to order it. So we actually go on the Rao's websites, www.raos.com, RAOS.com, and we order by the case. So you get 12 28-ounce cans, okay? This is 1 pound right here. And years ago, for my mother and father-in-law, there were 4 of us at the table, so she used to actually make 2 cans. Now it's just me and my husband. We only make the 1 can, and it's perfect for us. I actually have leftovers some nights for the nights. So maybe tonight I'll have it. Maybe tomorrow we'll have it. This is the week of Thanksgiving. I didn't realize that this holiday came up fast. And if this holiday comes up fast, I can wait for Christmas. That's going to come up fast as well. I took out my wax out of my wax warmers. This is what the wax looks like now. I'm just about to put this in the freezer. I'm going to put it in the freezer now. And hopefully at some point while I'm talking to you, I'll show you how that goes. Let me give my gravy a stir. I think my coffee's ready. And again, let me bring you over here one more time. This is not a cooking segment. I'm just showing you what I'm what I'm doing here. This is the gravy, and these are the garlics. So I leave the garlics pretty much whole, but they will liquefy into the gravy, and it just get a nice consistency. I started this at I started it in the pot at around 9 a.m. I'm thinking about maybe by 11 to 11:30 that should actually be done, and then I shut it off. I'll leave it in the pot until tonight, and then all I have to do is heat it up. Sometimes we have raviolis, and sometimes we just have regular pastas, such as these, the Barilla pastas. And at Stop and Shop, those pastas, when they're on sale, they're on sale. 10 boxes for $10. Hey, where do you get $1 a box? So right now, they've only had 4 boxes for $5. So there's the sneakiness. I don't buy them like that. I actually have 8 boxes here. And then I have 2 more boxes up there. So I'm pretty much set. Oops. First person heard from. I don't know. I don't hear from anybody all day. How I do the onions and the garlic is I slice the onions into slices. Like little strip slices. And the garlic, I do the garlic. And I usually do that the night before. And I put it into a small container. I don't have the container on me. Put it into a small container, put it in the refrigerator. You know what? It saves time of getting up early and doing that extra thing. So usually I actually prepare stuff for the night before. What I do with that, after I strain the gravy, after I put the gravy in the pot, I add salt, pepper, and the sugar. And on a separate side pot, I usually, my mother-in-law used to use canola oil. Sometimes she used to use corn oil. But I tend to use olive oil. I use a little bit of olive oil in a pan, in a small pan. And I wait until that heats up good. And then I put the onions and the garlic in that and let it soak into that. And it gets up, you get it bubbling a little bit, and then it simmers. You simmer it for about maybe like 10 minutes. My mother-in-law used to like to get the onions a slight tip brown, but I don't like to do that. Sometimes the garlic gets that way, depending on how hot the oil is. So you may just want to watch it as you're stirring it. Then what you do is, after that, is you get the gravy somewhat heated up while you're doing that. The gravy is hot while I do it, and then I take the pan, I take the pot with the garlic and the onion, and I just pour, I drain and I pour the onions and the garlic into the gravy. Now, my mother-in-law always says, take some of the oil and put some of the oil into the gravy as well. Don't worry about it, she says, because what it is that that'll also, as the gravy is you're going to see the gravy is very loose. You're actually going to probably see it very oily, very watery. Don't panic about that, because as the gravy simmers for that few hours, it will form a consistency where that oil will actually go away and work itself into the gravy. It really is nice. As you can see, I'm going to show you one more time. As you can see right now, the gravy looks kind of, you can see it here on the sides. It kind of looks like, see, there's a wateriness to it. That will go away. That will go away. As this gravy, as I'm stirring it, as it's simmering for the next, maybe the next hour on a slow simmer. You may want to get it to a slight boil. So what I do here is I take a piece of tissue. Oh God. I take a piece of tin foil and I just put it lightly over the pot, as you see here, and it gets a little bit of air. Every so often you'll see the bubbles, which I have to constantly wash. I have to constantly wipe down my stove top, because it just sprays. You want to get that to a light simmer. And you want to keep simmering it I stir it like every 15-20 minutes. I give it a stir just to get it going. You will see the consistency change. It will become more of a thickness to it, which is what you want. And that means that all the ingredients are actually soaking up into the gravy itself, which is what I consider it. So when I see that, she showed me that, we're good with it. And that's how she does it. It's a very easy thing. It's not hard at all. Took her quite a few years to show me. I don't know why, but that was it for my mother-in-law. And that's what I'm doing throughout the day. Now, I have the wax in here. Let me see. There it goes. Okay, you want to see the wax turn. And there it is. Okay, this wax, I ran this wax, this is the candle wax. This is the spiced gingerbread from Bath and Body. And I melted this for about a good 4 nights. And this is done. This is done now. So I take that, I throw it away. I'll wash this out. I'll put new wax in my warmers for tonight. I don't know which one I want. I don't know if I want, the spiced gingerbread is awesome. It really gives off a good scent, and I could smell it throughout the house, literally. So I'm very happy with that. I think I may want to try and kill the rest of this out. This is the Perfect Christmas from Bath and Body, and I still have quite a bit left, so it doesn't give off as strong of a scent. And the more I use it, this candle will never be purchased again. That much I know. It's just not strong enough. And I have to be careful because I cracked the glass on this. I don't know if you can see that. That's a nice, there's a nice crack going. I know there is. You could see that. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's right here. That's the crack. So I have to remember, don't apply so much pressure while I'm scooping out the wax. So that is really it. That is my day. I think my coffee is ready. And I just put a little bit of cinnamon in my coffee maker. With my coffee, I mix the coffee up and the cinnamon up with it. And that's really it. I see that it is lightening up. It's been a rotten day all morning. My husband says the sun will come out. I'm going to try and make it to the Disney store. There is something that I want to purchase. My husband and myself, we have accumulated a shitload of Disney reward points because we haven't gone to Disney this year. So I want to see if I can call Disney and have some of my points transferred so this way I can use them. I think I would like to purchase the mini wristlet of the Make-A-Wish True Blue little mini wristlet backpack. I had my eye on that. I don't care for the big one, as you know. Okay, that's really it. Park Hopper passes. Park Hopper passes are going to be brought back, supposedly January 2021. We now, when we booked that trip for next September, we have the what they consider the base ticket, which is what the no park hop is, that you only go to one park a day. How does this work? Do we call? Do we upgrade when the time comes? This is going to be real interesting. The parks is starting to fill up with 35% capacity. There is a huge difference. I don't know if they're BSing everybody, but I saw shots of Magic Kingdom that it's just like, it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, everybody has their masks on, sure, but how do you do social distancing with this? I would really like to know. I mean, I've seen the shots. Unbelievable. All right. Rides is still being built. Guardians of the Galaxy coaster, they tested that out with the cars and the tracks. That looks pretty interesting. I don't know if I'd really go on it because it has like a dizzy effect, because the car actually, as it's riding, the car actually turns. I don't really care for things like that, except for Primeval Whirl. That ride I loved, but you know, sometimes I just close my eyes when we turn. But that actually makes you more dizzy, if you notice. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. They say that Guardians of the Galaxy is a high-speed coaster. When the engineers wrote it last week and I saw the video of it, it didn't really seem like it was going that fast, unless that was just during the test phase. They'll probably maybe speed that up. I don't know. It's just, to me, it reminds me of a bigger version of Primeval Whirl. So, we'll see. What are your views on the Park Hopper passes? Give me a shout out for that. Let me know what you feel, because you know, we may just keep it to a base ticket right now. We may just keep it to a base ticket. So we have to discuss that with my husband. And you know, do I want to run around to park hop? You know, my husband and myself, we only go to maybe 2 parks a day. We kind of space it out. We'll go to, let's say, Magic Kingdom in the morning, and we'll swing over to Epcot that same day. That would be the Park Hopper. And then another day we go to Hollywood Studios. And then we'll probably swing back over to Epcot or Magic Kingdom, whichever. Whatever the day, however the day took us and however the day takes us. Fast passes, we really don't, for the last 5 years, we really have not done fast passes that much, because first of all, the rides that you had, they don't give out the fast passes. I mean, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, when it first came out, they never gave you fast passes for the I mean, whoever got on it first is whoever got on it first. When it first came out, when it first started, we never got fast passes for that. We just wound up standing on the damn line. Slinky Dog, we only stood on line not even 30 minutes. We got on. We were very lucky. You know, still things for Buzz Lightyear that you still need. Toy Story Mania, that would be considered maybe a fast pass. We were down there when I had fast passes for months. All of a sudden, I look at my Disney Experience app. The ride is now, you know, we are overbooked, or the ride is now has been shut down for maintenance. We'll give you this fast pass instead. I should actually be able to choose what I want to do next. You know, I know you're giving me some, but half the time you gave me something that I really didn't want to begin with. You know, something that I really never wanted to go on. So, I don't know, all that maybe could be straightened out or to be considered. I don't know. Okay, let me get going here, stirring my gravy. It's starting to look like maybe a little bit of a better day. I'm going to run in, make my bed, maybe perhaps get dressed. That would be nice. Continue stirring my gravy. And then maybe I'll start the day. I don't know. I don't know if I'll go out. It's just one of them yucky days. Happy Monday. For me, it's yucky, not for you. Happy Monday. I hope you have a great start to the new week. It's a new week. And if anything else pops up, I will let you know. Hope everybody is well. Have a great Monday. Whatever you're doing today, do it nicely, do it safely, and wear a mask. That's important, please. I see people around here that aren't wearing masks. They don't wear masks. I don't know what the problem is. I wear a mask. They're looking at me like I'm a nut. And they're passing me by and they ain't wearing a mask. I don't know. Joggers, people that walk their dogs. I don't know. They think they're immune to this. I have no idea. All I know is I'm wearing my mask. I do it more for myself than anybody. All right. God bless. Have a great Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.